blowout. That's disrespectful to OKC.
Hey, like Mama say on In the Red Corner, listen to Ty. But in this instance, we're gonna listen to what LeBron got to say about the rings because this was very, very funny.
All
Drop
right.
that, drop
Pretty
that
lengthy
phone.
video, so be patient, everybody.
Oh my goodness, I do not know the answer. I wish I had the answer to this, but I'm not sure, man.
Is that Beijing?
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know
it
how to
is.
discuss
My
something
bad.
like
Yes,
My
that.
it
bad.
is.
My bad. My
Why it's
bad.
the A all be all of everything. Like, okay, you weren't a great player if you never won a championship. Yeah. It's like, or if you won one, then you can't be in the same conversation with this person. I don't know, man. It's just like, you sit here and tell me, Allen Iverson and Charles Barkley and Steve Nash, are fucking wasn't unbelievable. Like, oh, they can't be talked about or discussed with these guys just because this guy won one ring or won two rings or one, like, it's just weird to me. It's like saying Peyton Manning can't be in the same room with Brady or Mahomes because he only has one ring. They don't never discuss that in their sport. Right. Or telling me that Dan Marino is not the greatest slinger of all time, or he can't be in the room with those guys because he didn't win a championship. They don't discuss those things, I don't know. I don't know. Did Barry Bonds win a World Series? I don't think so. I don't think so. Barry Bonds never won a World Series. So. You can't sit here and tell me that he's not the greatest baseball player to ever touch a bat. I don't understand where it came from. I don't know where it started. I hope that we have to appreciate more of what guys have been able to accomplish, what guys have been able to do. A ring is a team accomplishment. Right. And if you happen to have a moment where you're able to share that with your team, that should be discussed. This team was the greatest team, okay? Or that team, you can have those conversations. But like trying to nitpick an individual because he was not able to win a team game or a team match or whatever the case may be. I don't know where it started. It's just it's a long conversation, especially when it comes to like, me individually.
You sure about that?
Dave had to walk away.
I know.
I ain't got time for that.
For the car.
Woo. So, Joe, he said a lot there. He said a lot. We already know which side of the fence you're on when it comes to the Jordan and LeBron debate. We already know where you stand with Kobe and some of the great players in the league. But when you hear things like that, now you when you hear things like that, just tell me what was your take or your first reaction to this video. I'm not even gonna say when you hear things like that. I'm not even gonna lead the witness. Just tell me what was your initial reaction to that video.
First, before I react, I want to read his comment. Shout out to Blue Boat Sports Observer and Politics. Appreciate you. Oh, he a Giants fan. I think he was in the comments before. Remember that? I think so. All right, shout out to you for being in the comments.
Join the chat.
I feel like this fake outrage with LeBron is only an excuse to dump on him. It went over a lot of people's heads because they hate LeBron. Shaking my head. Okay, so this is where the confusion lies. Now, obviously, there's a thing out there where, and Carl Miss is on the show. There's a thing out there where people do that. Some people do that. They'll be like, if you ain't got a ring, I don't want to hear about you. But let's put context to everything, though. First of all, who's out here saying these guys aren't great players?
Like in the barbershop, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, when you bring up Dan Marino, are we saying he wasn't good?
People still have him as one of the top 5 quarterbacks to ever play in the game.
And he never won. But Can he be in the same conversation with Brady? No. He's not the GOAT. Now, he says throw the football. That's different. Aaron Rodgers is one of the best throwers of the football. But is he in Brady's class? No. He's not, because at the end of the day, you played the game to win. Now, are rings the end all be all? No, it's part of it, though. It's part of it. So he mentioned Peyton Manning. he can't be in the same conversation with Brady. He was in the same conversation with Brady, but the difference between him and Brady, Peyton kept folding in the playoffs and Brady didn't, and Brady kept winning. And I'm a Peyton Manning fan. I grew up being a Peyton guy and then like Tom Brady, but I realized that Tom Brady just got in his blood something that Peyton don't. And yes, Peyton and Mahomes are in the same conversation. Nobody is saying they're not in the same conversation. So you have to win though. And the reason, and the answer to the question directly, why is NBA, right? Now, do you notice when he brought up football players, he only brought up the quarterback position? Do we talk about rings with the running backs? No. What about like Emmitt Smith got the most? He got all rings, most yards. Do people say he to go? Some people might say it, but most people don't say he to go. People say like Barry Sanders and stuff like Jim Brown, right? People don't really say Emmitt Smith. Wide receivers, right? Jerry Rice got rings, but that's not why he's the GOAT. It's because of what he did on the field. So the reason why quarterbacks are judged by rings because they control most of the game. You have more power to influence the game as a quarterback. In any sport, that's a team sport. Basketball is the only sport, not only sport, it's the most influential sport when one person can change the whole thing. Like, if Jokic go to any other team, they're championship contenders. I don't care what team it is. Throw them in the Charlotte Hornets. They're going to be night and day. Whatever they... Now, I'm not going to say the Hornets will win a championship, but you put Jokic on the Hornets, they making the playoffs, bro.
That's just a personal beef. Don't worry about that. That's just a personal. Yeah.
But same thing with Mahomes. Throw Mahomes on the Panthers.
Jacksonville? Oh. The Panthers? Yeah, the Panthers. No.
What you just killed Birdie? Birdie ain't good?
Of course. That's Patrick Mahomes. What you mean?
What you mean? Okay.
Joe, you never mind. And I'm not doing that today. We're not having that segment. I'm not saying it.
All
right, that's why I said I'm not saying it.
Right?
Throw him on the Panthers. Throw him on the Panthers.
But
Patrick Mahomes, we don't lose those two Super Bowls. I'll tell you that right now.
I'm trying to think of that. Who had number one overall pick this year?
The Titans.
Titans. Throw them on the Titans. Titans gonna be much. So quarterbacks can swing the momentum. So I know they gonna mention something. I wanna bring up something he said, but I know they're gonna mention it, right? But I'm not gonna do it. But dog, why did you go to Miami? So you can win some rings. You know that. We all know the Kobe Bryant video. What Kobe Bryant song Lil Wayne. In that song by Kobe Bryant, the first thing the song started by saying, I want to be the best. And for me to be the best, I had to win. And that's why I play the game. I mean, that you gotta win. That's part of the conversation. So yes, we don't. And then look, let's see what I'm passing y'all. Steve Nash got 2 MVPs. But I promise you ask LeBron James, who better? Steve, who had a better, who's greater? Steve Nash or Isaiah Thomas? Guess what you gonna say?
Isaiah Thomas.
Isaiah Thomas.
Easy.
But Nash got 2 MVPs. Right? But then you got Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard or Karl Malone? I'm picking Karl Malone.
Karl Malone.
But Kawhi Leonard got 2 rings. So it's not the end all be all, but it's part of the conversation.
Is Kawhi Leonard 100% healthy?
See, no,
even if he's 100% healthy, we talk about his career. I'm taking Karl Malone over
Kawhi. He's been hurt though. I'm just saying.
It happened. I'm sorry. Robert Horry got a bunch of rings. It's not just about the ring.
He ain't in none of those conversations.
So we don't just kill people that don't have the ring. So go ahead. I know I'm gonna piggyback what y'all say, but go ahead. I want to say more. I don't want to take all the thunder. Go ahead.
I'm glad you mentioned the Miami Heat, Joe, because that's exactly where I was gonna go.
Oh, you gonna go?
That's exactly where I was gonna go, Bron. What did you say that summer when you decided to the Miami Heat? Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7. I'm sorry, that's not 7 consecutive seasons. That's not 7 straight wins. That's not 7 playoff appearances. That's 7 championship rings that you were talking about. Correct? So that means rings matter. Also, when you were with Cleveland, right? And you were down 3-1. You came back and won that championship. What did you say on your uninterrupted podcast after you won that championship? You said, I feel like that made me the greatest of all time.
Accusation. False.
Me.
Accusation.
At that time,
Me.
he had 3 championships. You
But he
still
said me.
have- he said he was talking about himself.
Yeah.
He didn't say the team. He didn't say that was the greatest team of all time. I am the greatest of all time. So, Brown, you are part of ring culture. Don't you understand that? You are a part of ring culture, LeBron. We talk about everything when it comes to who's the greatest of all time, not just rings, but rings is a part of the conversation. Me and Joe had a debate on another podcast where we talked about who was the greatest of all time. And rings were a part of it, but it wasn't even the main argument. We brought up a whole bunch of other things. You could talk about a lot of players who were great. Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady, Carmelo Anthony. We know that these guys were great, but they aren't going to be in the same conversation as a LeBron James. They won't be in the same conversation as a Kobe Bryant. They're not going to be in the same conversation as a Dwayne Wade because those guys won championship. No, we don't misunderstand what he meant. Joe asked the question at the beginning of it. If you actually heard him, if you heard his question, he said, "Who is saying that these players aren't great?" That's kind of sort of what LeBron was talking about. Who's saying it? Who said that these players aren't great? Who said that Charles Barkley is not great? Who said that Steve Nash is not great? We know he is. We know he's great. He just not in the same conversation as Isaiah Thomas. Sorry.
Shaq the only one that killed Charles Barkley for not winning the ring.
That's it. That's it. Shaq does it all the time. He did that to troll him every single time. Shaq knows that he's one of the greatest of all time. Karl Malone, look, people don't like what he did off the court, but we talk about what he did on the court. And on the court, he was one of the greatest. John Stockton,
Bro, AL gets a lot of love. He never won.
Exactly. Al Iverson gets a lot of love. Bron, you are a part of ring culture. You left certain places to go win a championship.
He did.
You left Cleveland twice to go win a championship. Come on, man. And okay, then since you're saying this, who has downplayed them? Who has downplayed them because they haven't won a championship? We don't downplay players because they won a championship, at least not on this show. We talk about them because of what they call competence, especially if the topic comes up. Tim Hardaway Jr. was one of the best players to play for the Miami Heat. But is he going to be in the same conversations as Dwayne Wade? No, he's not, because he didn't win a championship.
It matters.
It matters. I'm sorry. Sorry. And to answer your question in the beginning, yes, all of us have LeBron in our top 3, so we don't hate LeBron. That's just get that out the way.
And
all of us have LeBron in our top 3.
And I know you gotta go, Tomo, but it's crazy. It's like, yo, like they said, nobody's saying these guys aren't great, but he said he don't know why NBA is more into the rings than any other sport. You should it's because you have more control to win the championship. Like you really have
in other sports, they don't have the same ability that you have. LeBron, basketball is the closest thing to an individual sport, even though it's a team game. It's the closest thing to an individual sport like tennis and golf, because you can control what happens in the game
on both sides of the floor. Though that's
both sides of the floor.
Like on soccer, you can't really do that. You gotta play one side of the field. Like now maybe hockey too. Hockey you can control, right? And in baseball, you definitely can't control. You're not
soccer. You can control it.
No, soccer like
Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. If they score 3 goals, they pretty much can control the game.
No, but normally if I see, I'm not.
I was on mute this whole time. I think he's saying on the defensive side.
Yeah, like on soccer, most likely Messi's he's not. You would never catch Messi like in front of the other guy's net, other team's net. You never catch him on that side.
Oh well, no.
So that's what I'm saying. But in basketball, you on both sides. Football, you got to come off the field when the defense come in. Like unless you Travis Hunter, I mean, I'm saying. Go ahead, Tomo.
Or Dak Prescott. I mean, my bad. Now. It's funny that he in the comments saying what he's saying, because it's like he was reading my notes. Because when I first heard it, it's right message, wrong messenger. Like hearing that come from like Allen Iverson or Charles Barkley, you probably be like, I see where you going with this, but they don't play now, right?
Even Melo. I think Melo has brought this up before too on his own podcast.
That's more recent. I'm gonna go with Melo, right? I'm gonna go more so with Melo, but also Melo had a chance to go to Miami as well, but he would say I
And
chose
Chicago.
to go. He had and wait, he did go to OKC, and he ended up in LA. So at some point he was trying to get a ring, so I get it. But I think where LeBron was coming from, and AJ said it last night, and I was like, dang, AJ, I know we're gonna talk about this tomorrow. Why you gotta say it right now? This is gonna be good. LeBron allows the media to run his life sometimes. And he says he doesn't answer the trolls, but he does it in subtle ways like this. What do you mean where ring culture came from? You allowed ESPN, Skip, Stephen A, and all those people to force you to Miami when everyone knows you could have just stayed in Cleveland and they could have built you a team because you went to the finals before. But you allowed that pressure to get to you. Therefore, you are the king of ring culture. Like you're the face of it. So you got to understand that. Man, where did this come from? It was like you allowed them, you did a whole 2-hour show just to announce the decision. Like you were the face of it. So you when it comes to ring culture, I agree with everyone there. What he's trying to say is the perception of how people on TV talk about players that don't have rings, at times they kind of throw hints that like they weren't good because they don't have a ring. Like they'll say things like, no, he was a great player, but did he win? It's like, wait. Just say he's a great player. You don't have to ask, did he win? He was just a great player. But they too busy trying to compare everyone to who? Jordan. So when it comes to Jordan, we all know what happened. We all know his legacy. His story is his story. But then the next player they talk about is LeBron. And then anyone else that comes after that, because they need clicks and they need people to talk about who's going to be the next face of the NBA. To be the face of the NBA, you have to be what? You have to be a winner. But at the end of the day, what's the Mamba mentality? Just go out, play good basketball. And if you go out, play good basketball, then you're going to ultimately at some point win a ring. Like there's players out there that even if you not even win a ring, but you're going to get to the finals. If Iverson was half the player that Kobe was as far as mentally, he would have had 3. I can give him 3. But at some point, Kobe just had more of a mentality towards basketball than Kobe did. And I have this debate with my man Will all the time because he always talk about Kyrie is better than Allen Iverson. And we always tell him, he's like, when has Kyrie led a team by himself to the final and at least get one game? He'll always say, but Kyrie got a ring. And I was like,
I don't mean nothing.
But see what I'm saying?
So what he got a ring?
But that's what I'm saying. That's how it's perceived, and that's what LeBron is sticking to. He's like, wait, so you basically saying because Iverson don't have a ring, Kyrie's better than him because he has one. And it's like, no, you can't say that. Yes, Kyrie's a dog. Iverson's a dog. But when it comes to like actually leading a team to the finals, can he do it? We haven't seen it. He had a moment, but he always had he had a Luka or he had a LeBron. And we're going to see it once he comes back from the injury. He probably will do it with AD or the flag. We don't know. Cooper flag, that is, because I don't want nobody to mix my words up. But at the end of the day, I think that's where LeBron was going with it. That's why I say it's right message, wrong messenger. And then at the end, he still found a way to bring it back to him. He's like, even me. I was like, see, that's when you killed it. As soon as you say even me, everybody like, there you go.
Yeah, bro. See, and then to answer his question, is going to Miami not going to legacy? No, we don't knock him. I don't knock LeBron going to Miami. Tomo is basically saying you're saying I don't know when it started, but yet you left Cleveland to go get a ring, and the media drive you like you gotta win, because we all try to compare you to Jordan. You came out the chosen one. Jordan won in 7 years, and you were in Cleveland for 7 years, and then it was time for you to win. So you left in Miami, and you got your ring in your 9th year. So you fell to the pressure, and just because LeBron's a great player, we're not judging him. We're not judging his game based on what he says. All right, y'all. So just because we disagree with LeBron, don't mean we think less of him as a basketball player. But Bron, when he opens his mouth and talk, when he opens his mouth to talk, a lot of times he just be, I don't know where he be getting these thoughts from, like for real, like. And I don't know if he did that because of Steve Nash is in front of him, and he didn't want to make Steve Nash feel bad. But like, dude, you should know all great players talk about winning. Talk to Magic Johnson, winning. Talk to Bill Russell, he's alive, winning. So Kareem left Milwaukee. He like, I gotta win more. He left. Jordan always said like, "Yo, bro, Russell got 11. I gotta get more." He talked about that when he was still playing. You know, so Kobe, I gotta get that 6, but he couldn't get it. You know, but come on, man, it's about winning.
Yeah, and that's where he went wrong because, like you said, every player that you named, Joe, all of them went through trials and tribulations with their franchises at some point, and they all had a moment where they was like, "I want out," but they stuck it out. Like we all heard Kobe saying he wanted to leave. I think at some point, I think Jordan was more so upset about the coaching situation. They fired, was it Doug Collins? He was upset about that, but then Phil came in, they started winning. They all had their moments, but nobody ever succumbed to the pressure like LeBron did when it was just like, "Hey, you can't win in Cleveland, so you gotta do something." And he said, "I'm out." So go ahead.
I know we gotta move on, y'all.
I know.
All right. So Mark,
Yeah, go ahead, because I was about to do the same thing. Go ahead.
put the gloves down. Nobody is saying Jordan is better because he won his seventh year and LeBron did not. I'm not saying that. We're saying the pressure came on LeBron to make the move. And bro, we are okay with LeBron leaving to go to Miami. But KG didn't want to leave the Timberwolves. He was forced out. Like people were telling KG, like, bro, you need to leave.
KG and Ray Allen were traded to Boston.
But they didn't want to leave. Like they want. I don't know about Ray Allen, but I know for a fact KG wanted to be a Timberwolf for life, and everybody was in his ear, bro. You gotta go, and it was kind of like, all right, I'm gonna leave. LeBron, bro, you were a free agent, and you made a whole broadcast, and you left 2 win rings in your seventh year. We're not knocking you for it, you know what I mean? But you did it, so you're part of the ring culture too.
That's why I say he's the king of it, because look what KD did. KD essentially did the same thing. He's like, look, I can't do it
another level. On another
level, yes.
It just happens. Bradley Bill, I mean, let's talk about the
Ravens. Oh man, he tried it.
And it didn't work for him.
I'm joking. But yeah, I just want everyone, and we said it, we gotta say it one more time before we go to the next subject. We don't think that LeBron's a bad player because we don't agree with what he's saying. Like we can disagree. Like,
exactly.
It's okay.
He's still top 2 all time. What
all
you got?
Time.
1 or 2. He's top 2 all time.
And he has and I think he's 2. And the gap between 2 and 3 is pretty large to me. I don't think 3 is right behind LeBron. I think LeBron got some space between him and 3.
I believe so too.
So how close is he to 1? No, I'm not gonna do that. Let's talk about it.
We're
not gonna do it. We're not gonna do it.
We already had that conversation before.
KD's whole career is between him and LeBron.
I mean, he had several faces of the league while he was here.
2 rings, an MVP.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
All I'm saying is, look, Dwayne Wade won a ring before LeBron, but you don't hear me saying that Dwayne Wade's better than LeBron.
Hey, let me ask y'all one question though, because you brought up Steve Nash, and Joe, you said Steve Nash got 2 MVPs, right? 2 MVPs, no ring.
No ring.
Okay. This other player has 2 MVPs, and he's going for a ring.
Okay.
We think by him getting some more defensive help that it's gonna get him that ring.
Yes, sir.
Good layup. Once you said 2 rings, I already knew. I said, okay, I know what you're talking about. Okay.
Because the NFL chat is talking. The internet is buzzing. I mean, the flock is flocking. Jair is here. They got their guy. He went there for less money. We talked about it. Dave is kind of funny. We said he might go there for less money because that's his boy, but we'll see. And it happened, right? Mm-hmm. Yep. And he signed there 1 year. I think it's a $6 million deal. You know, he signed the deal, and now the people are saying the pressure's on Lamar. So does Jair put the Ravens one step closer to the Super Bowl? Jair Alexander, I think they said he played 7 games in the last 2 seasons due to health reasons. But again, he got more help in that secondary. So the chat is already talking about who has the best secondary. You all talked about it again. Y'all touched on a lot last night, Joe. I'm just saying that's how you know that game was a blowout. Anytime it's a blowout, people just start talking about everything else. Y'all started talking about a lot, right?